Alright, ACT practice test. Question number 1, it says two enterprising college students decide to start a business. They will make up and deliver helium balloon bouquet for special occasion. It will cost them $39.99 to buy a machine to fill the balloons with helium. So I believe initial cost is what? $39.99 to fill the balloons with helium. They estimate that it will cost them $2 to buy the balloons, helium and ribbons needed to make each balloon bouquet. Which of the following expressions could be used to model the total cost for producing bee balloon bouquet? So this is the price for this is the price for your helium gas. I think this is the price to buy a machine to fill the balloons, and rest of the parties takes $2 for them to buy the balloons, helium and ribbons needed for each bullet. So which of the following expressions could be used? So it will be yours $39, and then afterwards it is your $2 times B. So this is the correct answer for finding the total cost for producing bee balloon bouquets. What is the value of the expression x minus y whole square when x is 5 and y is negative 1? So what we can do in this is we can substitute the values, like x is your 5 and y is your negative 1. Only keep this in your mind, there's a negative minus sign over here and the value of y is what? Negative 1. So after this, as you all know, this will change to a plus sign. So then 6 squares is what? 36. So option K is the correct answer for this problem. Let's move to question number 3. On the first day of school, Mr. Villani gave his third grade students 5 new words to spell. So this means on day 1, how many words are there? There are 5 words. On each day of school after that, he gave the students 3 new words to spell. In the first 20 days of school, how many new words he gave the student? So this means after day 1, and this says total number of days are 20. How many days are left? Remaining days are 19 days are left. So what I will do in this case is I will take my 19, and each day is giving 3 new words. I'll multiply this, it is my 57. So total words will be what? Total words will be, you will add all the numbers, 57 plus 5, which is giving me 62. So this is my answer over here. So choice B is the correct answer for this problem. Question number 4. Which of the following is equivalent to parentheses 4x square parentheses close whole cube? So what happens over here is we will use the distributive property of multiplication over here, or rule of exponents. So this will be 4 cube times x to the power 2 times 3. So this will give you 64 and this will give you 6. So your answer is 64 x to the power 6. So this means choice G is the correct answer for this problem. Question number 5 says, which of the following list all positive factors for 8? So what I can do is I can draw a factor tree over here. Okay, so I got 1 over here, then I can have 2 and 1, and this is my 2 and 2 over here. Okay, so now in this case what happens is, if I'm really looking at the positive factors over here, I know one factor is 1, another factor is 2, I will not pick this, another factor I will take this as 3, this one 4 over here, and 8 is itself a factor. So according to this is a list of all the positive factors for 8. I will not take these 2 because coming many times. Okay, so E is the correct answer choice for this problem. Let's look at question number 6. Which of the following is an equivalent simplified expression for 2 times 4x plus 7 minus 3, 2x minus 4? So in this case what will happen is we will use distributive property of multiplication. The reason why I draw these arrows is it helps me in counting all of my terms over here. 2 times 4 is 8x, this is my 14, 6x plus 12 over here. 8x minus 6x gives me what? 2x, because these are like terms. And 14 plus 12 will give me what? 26. So this is my answer over here. Do I have any choice which looks like this? Yes. Option choice H is the correct answer for this problem. Now let's look at question number 7. To determine a student's overall test score for the semester, Mr. Lopez throws out the lowest test score and takes the average of the remaining test scores. I will circle this word average because this is a keyword over here, and you all know average and mean are same thing. Of the remaining test scores, Victor earned the following test scores in Mrs. Lopez class this semester: 62, 78, 83, 84, 93. What overall test score did Victor earn in Mrs. Lopez class this semester? Now, when I'm reading this, it says Miss Lopez throws out the lowest test score, so I will get rid of this. So I'm left over with what? These four over here. Okay, how we find the average? You add all the numbers and divide by the total over here. Alright, so let's add all of these numbers. As you can see, when I added all the numbers, I got the total as what? I got the total as 38. So alright, 338 divided by 4. So when I will do this, my answer will be, I will check it over here in the calculator. And it's yours divided by 4. My answer is 84.5. So option E is the correct answer choice for this. This is your 84.5. Option E is the correct answer choice for question number 7. Uptown Cable, a cable TV provider, charges each customer $120 for installation, plus $25 per month for the cable program. Uptown's competitor, Downtown Cable, charges each customer $60 for installation, plus $35 per month for cable programming. $35 per month for cable programming. A customer who signs up with Uptown will pay the same total. Now the keyword over here is same. Same total amount for cable TV as a customer who signs up with Downtown if each pays for installation and cable programming for how many months. So I have for Uptown, I have $120 with installation. So $120 is the installation for Uptown and $25 per month. So I will just take as M. Okay, for Downtown, what I have $60 for the installation, and the customer pays $35 per month. Let's take this in M. So at certain time, what will happen is both of them will pay the same price. We have to find how many months it will take. So in this situation, what I can do over here, I can draw a table also, but I will just pick a choice. So randomly, I pick choice G over here. G means number of months is 6. So when I will substitute my M as 6 over here, let's see what happens. So 120 plus 25 times 6. This is a 150, gives you total of what? $270. So this customers who are with Uptown, they pay $270 in 6 months. Now, when I plug in this one over here, when I substitute in this one, and if I end up with the same answer 270, then I can say that after 6 months both the customers will pay what? They will be paying the same amount. So what is 35 times 6? This is your 70, 210 plus this is a 270. So now as you can see, after 6 months both the customers will pay the same amount for this cable charge. In the 8-sided figure below, adjacent side meets at right angle. Now keyword over here is right angles over here. They are saying these adjacent side, they meet at right angles over here. Okay, and this happens when we are having a shape which is a rectangle or a square. Okay, so this is 90 degree over here. What is the perimeter of the shape figure in meters? Now what I can do over here is, I know this is my 20, I will circle this. This is my 8. Now what I can do is I can draw a dotted line over here. Tick, 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 tick. When I do this, what happens is this is a square, so this will be 8, this will be 8, and this will be 8. I don't need this one, so I will use a different color for this one. So let's use this light color over. This is 8 over here. Okay. Now after this, as you can see this part over here, if I will extend this part over here, this part over here, this is what? 12. All right. Now if this is now as you can see this part is 8. So what will be change the color over here? What will be this part? I'm looking at this part over here. Okay, now look like this. This whole is 20. Okay, this whole is 20. If I will subtract from 20 this 8 over here, I will be ended up with this part plus this part over here. So this will be what? This and this total will be what? It will be yours 12. So now how I'll add the perimeter is I got this 20 and I got this 12. Check, check. I got 8 over here plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. So I got all of these three 8s over here. Now, as you can see, this whole was what? This whole was 12. Okay, until this place. You see, this is 12. So I will add one more 12 over here. Alright, now what else is left? Now we are left over with this part. You can see this part over here and this part over here. So this is what? This is yours, one more 12. So now let's add all of these. Okay, so this gives me 20, then it's 40, 60 and 80. So 80 is the correct answer choice. Do we have this answer choice? Yes. Option B is the correct answer choice for this problem. Question number 10. The sum of the real numbers x and y is 11. Their difference is 5. What is the value of x times y? So sum of the real numbers x plus y is 11. So it is my x plus y 11 is equal to 11. Their difference is 5. This means when we subtract both of them, it is 5. What is the value of x times y? So what I will do over here is I will solve this equations over system of equations. So I'm left over 2x is equal to 16, which gives me what? The value of x is 8. Now since I have 8, I need to find y, x as 8, and I have to find y. Once I find y, I can substitute in x times y and I will get the answer. So I will substitute my value of x as 8 in any of the equations. In this case, I'm entering in x plus y. So it will look like this to you. X is your 8 and y I do not know. And when I subtract this, value of y is what? 3. I got the value of y also over here. Now question is asking from us what is x times y. So I'll write over here 8 times 3. That gives me what? 24. Choice J is the correct answer for this problem. Let's move to the next problem. Question number 11. It says for all x, 3x plus 7 whole square is equal to what? So since there is a square over here, I can write it like this. I will use my distributive property of multiplication to expand this. So 3x times 3x gives me what? 9x square plus 3x times 7 gives me 9. 7 times 3 is 21x. Again 21x, this is your 49 over here. 7 times 7 is 49. I will combine the like terms. So this is your 9x square plus 42x plus 49. So that's your answer. Do you see any answer choice? Yes. Answer choice E is the correct answer for this problem. So let's look at question number 12. Question number 12 is easy. It says what is the slope of the line? What is slope? Slope of the line is the steepness of the line. There are many formulas, but we will use the formula slope, which is represented by letter M. We are using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now do keep in mind this is also known as change in y-intercept over change in x-intercept. I am taking this as x1, y1, x2 and y2. 7 minus 2 over 6 minus negative 5. So let's solve this. 5 over 6 plus 5. This will change to a plus sign. 11. Do you see any answer choice which looks like 5 or 11? Yes. Choice J is the correct answer for this problem. So let's look at question number 13. When 1 over 3k plus 1 over 4k is 1, what is the value of k? So I will rewrite it like this. K over 3 plus k over 4 is equal to 1. Yes, I can rewrite it. 1 over third means we can do it like this now. Now we have to come. Okay, we are adding two fractions. Usually what I tell my students is first of all you need to multiply these two. Okay, so it gives you 3 times k is 3k. There's a plus sign. Let's put the plus sign. Then afterwards I will multiply these two. 4 times k is what? This will be my 4k. Okay, and the third step what I explain is multiply these two. 3 times 4 is what? 12 is equal to 1. So now it becomes 7k over 12 is equal to 1. Now after this what I will do is I will write one imaginary one over here and I will cross multiply. This is the one. So it is just 7k is equal to 12, or the value of k is what? 12 over 7. That's the value of k, because the question is asking for the value of k, and option choice B is the correct answer for question number 30. Question number 14 says, what is the length in feet of the hypotenuse of a right triangle? Now do remember, whenever question talks about right triangle and they're talking about hypotenuse, this means we will use Pythagorean theorem over here. So what is a Pythagorean theorem? In a right triangle, the sum of the squares of the two legs is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So this means what is the length? So this means we have given the values of legs like this. So it will be 6 square plus 7 square is equal to hypotenuse whole square. Okay, so after this step, what you will do is you will take the radical on both the sides. So this will be yours 36 plus 49 is equal to hypotenuse. Now at this place you can use your calculator also, or you can do mental math also. So this is your 15, 5 plus 8 is 85 is equal to hypotenuse, and I can clearly see one of my answer choice G, that's the correct answer for this problem. Question number 15 says hexagon A, B, C, D, E, F shown below was drawn on a grid with unit squares. Now you know when it says squares, this means these all four sides are equal. Each vertex, this is the vertex, is at the intersection of two grid lines. What is the area of the hexagon in square units? How you can find area is very easy for you. Count these squares: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now so we got 18 squares. Now you see answer choice one answer choice 18 is over there. Do not take that answer because that will be wrong. Because if you will see over here, we have skipped this triangle. You see this triangle over here? We have skipped this triangle also. Now when I look at this triangle closely, I can see if I will combine them, it will be one square. So this means this is my 18, and I will give both of them as what? This will be my 19. Now is anything left? Yes, I'm left over this part also. You see this part also over here? I'm left over this part. So I'm just assuming over here this will be one more, so it will make it 20 and done. So area of the triangle is 20 for this question. There are multiple ways to do this problem, but I just took the easy approach. In the figure below, AD is perpendicular to BD. I can see from here, this AD is perpendicular to what? This is perpendicular to BD over here. Okay. Alright, so next part over here, what it says AC is this one over here, is perpendicular to BC. I can see this one over here, this is over here. Alright, so next thing what it says, AD is congruent, this AD over here is congruent to BC. Alright, so which of the following is not? The important part over here is not necessarily true. So first one says AC can be congruent to BD. So AC is this and BD is this. Yes, they can be congruent. I know they are congruent over here. Okay. Along with this, if you know these are vertically opposite angles, so they will be equal. Because of this, I can say this side is also equal. This is a common side. So these two triangles are congruent. Okay, but when I look at this second choice G, it says AD. This one over here, AD is congruent to what? AE. No, that's not possible. This is not correct answer. This is the wrong one. This is the correct answer choice for this problem. Letitia went into discount music to price CDs. All CDs were discounted 23% of the marked price. Letitia wanted to program her calculator so she can input the marked price and the discounted price would be the output. Which of the following is an expression of the discounted price on a marked price of P dollars? Okay, so let's take an example. Let's assume that the marked price is what? So mark price is equal to P dollars. Okay. And the CDs were discounted at 23%. So what happens is, so your discount will be what? Discount will be your mark price minus 23% of mark price. Because say 23% of this. So how much it will be? So if Percent means what? 23 divided by 100, or it will be 0.23. Of means times P. So this is my answer over here. So as I can look over here, option choice A gives me the same answer. Option choice A is the correct answer for this problem. Question number 18. In the figure below, A, D, B, G are collinear. Collinear means they are in the same line over here. If angle CAD, this is your CAD, if it is 76, BC, always look in the middle letter, BCD 47, PCD, this is your 47 degree, okay, and CBG, CBG, it measures 140 degree. What is the value of angle ACD? ACD. So question is asking from me to find this value over here. Okay, now look at this one. Okay, let's first of all find this value. You all know straight line, measurement of a straight line angle is what? 180. So 180, I will subtract 140, this will be 40 degree. I want you to pay attention to this whole triangle over here. Okay, in this whole triangle, you know what? You know A plus B plus C is equal to what? 180 degree. Angle A is 76, angle B is 40, but angle C, let's assume this is X because we have to find this angle. Angle C is what? X plus 47. Now when you subtract all of them, add and subtract, you will end up with the value of X as what? X will be your 17 degree over here. So which one was X? X was your angle ACD. So H is the correct choice for this problem. Miss Lewis plans to drive 900 miles to her vacation destination, driving a distance of 50 miles per hour. How many miles per hour faster must she average while driving to reduce her total driving time by 3 hours? Whenever you see something in miles per hours and distance and all, use the formula. Okay, so let's use the formula. Speed is equal to, this is a formula, speed is equal to distance over time. This is a formula which we'll be using. All right, now speed they give us what? 50 miles per hour. I'll write over here 50 miles per hour. Distance is 900, and time. So first of all, I can find the time. Okay, I can cross multiply over here. Okay, and just, I'll skip some of the steps, or it will be time is equal to what? 900 over 50. All right, so what happens after this is you will get the value of time. Time is yours how much? 18 hours. So this means Miss Lewis, she will take 18 hours to complete this journey of 900 miles. Now when you can see over here what it says question is saying how many miles per hour faster must she average while driving to reduce her total driving time by 3 hours. So original time is 18 hours. If you will subtract 3 hours, then this means she will take how many? She will take 15 hours to complete what? To complete 900 miles. Okay. So now the formula for speed is what? Distance over time. I do have time. I have distance. So I will write over here new speed. New speed should be equal to what? It should be equal to 900 divided by 15. So when I divide 900 by 15, what answer I should end up with? So this gives us 60 miles per hour. Now what the question is asking? Question is asking, she was going earlier at a speed of 50 miles per hour, and if you are reducing the distance time to 15 hours, how much faster she has to go? So now you can see 50 and 60, how much faster? 10 miles per hour faster she will go. So it will be yours 10. C is the correct answer for this problem over here. For all positive integers x, what is the greatest common factor of the two numbers 216x and 180? So my factors for 216x will be, I did the prime factorization, it will be yours 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3, and there is one more x also here. For 180x, it will be yours 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5, then you have x. Now how you find the greatest common factor? Look for the number which is coming in both of them. I found one 2 over here. And you remember something you used to do in your middle school. Again I found 2 over here. Then I found this 3 over here. And then this is your one more 3 over here. And you have one x over here. This is greatest common factor. So multiply all of them, you will end up with 36x. So option choice K is the correct answer for this problem.